session by our very own GOAT, Colin Plumb. He is now available on Amazon. The emotional ride of supporting Ipswich Town. Join Colin, a loyal supporter over 50 years, as he journeys his passionate and heartfelt account supporting the Super Blues. Head to amazon.co.uk and grab yours today.
Greetings, Richard. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Matthew.
Forgive me, I must break into song. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started on the most sensational, celebrational, inspirational, it's sensational. Welcome to your Talking Town Live. Cha-cha-cha. Name that tune, Richard.
I know the song, but it's probably sung a lot better than that. So,
what is it? We get called a couple of Muppets, don't we? It's the theme to the Muppet Show.
There you go. I think it was clowns.
Yeah, we've been called all sorts, haven't we? We've been called all sorts. Well, welcome to Talking Town Towers. Me and Rich are in the hot seat. Everything's okay with Martin. Just that we're driving this bus today, aren't we, Rich? We're driving this bus. We're in charge.
Driscoll's at the wheel.
Driscoll's at the wheel. Hard truth. The hard truth. Hope you all got back safely from Bolton. Rich, you still on the high? You're very excited yesterday, weren't you?
Well, I was on it. I was excited, but I still tried to. Colin was obviously. I want everyone to. So Colin's famous for his roles, isn't he, Matt?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So everyone in the chat, give us your favourite roles. What you would have in your roles, because yesterday Colin has changed it up. He's gone for. Are you ready, everybody? Ham, corned beef, and pickle. Now, I like corned beef and pickle. I like ham and pickle, Matt, but together, not for me.
No, I'm with you on that one. I can't remember the last time I had a corned beef sandwich. Or actually with any pickle in. You a pickle man?
Yeah, I like pickle. I know Gov's not a pickle fan. We found that out in the WhatsApp group last night. He likes piccalilli. But I like, do you remember corned beef hash? Have you ever had that?
Yes. I don't think I ever have.
Mashed potatoes and corned beef. Whack it in the oven. Baked beans with it. Oh.
Rather excitingly, Colin called me from the coach. I know he'd spoken to you a little bit earlier. I was expecting like jubilation and singing and the bashing of windows and all that kind of stuff. But it sounded like most people were probably asleep after some excitement. They had some dodgy weather coming back, apparently. Well, that's snow.
I put Colin's feet firmly back on the ground.
Did you?
Yeah, because Colin's getting excited. Second place. Listen, like it's brilliant in the minute.
I'm on that train right now.
Look, it's brilliant in the minute. We won 5, first time since 03 under Joe Royal. 6 clean sheets, club record. We've achieved nothing yet. This is what I said last night. We need to keep calm. And as Mark Ashton says, we have to be relentless, Matt. And that's what we need to be.
I thought you were going to say run towards adversity then.
Well, we don't really like that saying. I'm not a big fan. But we need to keep being relentless in every single game, because still a lot of football to be played. 10 games to go, a lot of points. Plymouth on a dodgy run at the minute. Kind fixtures in the last 10. Pressure's on them.
Kind on paper. We thought we had kind fixtures.
And then we've got Barnsley snapping at our heels now. And they've got some fixtures. I think they play Sheffield Wednesday in the midweek before we go there.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right.
We just need to take it. I know it's a boring phrase, each game as it comes. Shrewsbury next Saturday. Tough game.
It is. But buoyant on the fact that we've now got this run of 5. I could not believe we've not run 5 games on the trot since 2003.
Well, let's hope we do another 5, Matt. Let's hope we do another 5. Win the next 5. Put us in a really good position. So, couple of shout-outs.
Go for it,
Josh Russell became a dad yesterday. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Talking to babies. I was talking to Wes Burns' mum earlier. Mel's not watching live today. Not watching live today. She's at her daughter Hannah. She's at the baby shower. Right, so Wes's sister having a baby as well. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to Josh. You know, and everything's good in the Garden of Ipswich Town at the minute.
It is. Well, where should we? Well, do you want to start with some quick takeaways because you've got so many?
I've got literally all these. Another one here. I've wrote them all down today because it takes I have to scroll through my phone. I thought I've got a bit of time on my hands this morning. I'll write them down. Right, Gigi's. I'll do. Shall I do one page and then we'll do another bit later and then another?
Yeah. We'll segment them. That's a great idea.
Right, talking town takeaways. If you want to get involved after every game on Twitter, your 3-word takeaways from yesterday's game and every game. So I just thought it's a good thing to get everyone involved. I said I'll read as many out on the show, but I'm going to read out every single one today. So
nice.
GGC 109, Wesley Burns delivers, Samantha, Christian fucking Walton, Dominic Dean, Super Saber Walton. Shout out Curtis Yates, Yatesy, Bish, Bash, Bolton.
Nice.
Davis has got a brilliant one. Beehive, book signing. They were at the Beehive pre-match.
Oh, yes, they were. Yeah.
Luke Prentice, very good weekend. Imps Blue, don't say it. Richard Faulkner, momentum is gaining. Gaining. Daryl Otto, there we believe. Ben, Christian, class permanent. Nick, championship, touching distance. Rob, Super Christian Walton, Millie Valley Blue, Barry Knight's all right. Like that one. We all like that Barry Knight. We're big fans, aren't we, Gov?
The ledge.
Harps ITFC, bring on Shrewsbury, Daniel Jackson, Town Masterclass, Mark Dowling, Squeaky Bum Time, Maz Salazzo, fucking brilliant. Ian Ling, it's not over. Lucian, Hurst is quality. Andy, fear no foe. Sharon, yes, come on. Dean Mitchell, another crap ref. James Cummins, 2-point gap. Richard Chandler, Broadhead is quality. We'll touch on him in a bit. Jack Prentice, Morsey and Luongo. Ian Plum, shout out. Colin's son, Ian. Andy's in here as well, but we'll read his out later. We still believe. Believe it's coming home. Yeah, you know that song, mate? Mark Rattle, Hurst looking good. JM, we were awesome. Matt Casburn, tough sheet, Bolton. PJ Cullum, a statement win, and Mark Moy, Saturday night takeaway. So we'll do some more on them later.
Nice. Now, apparently, when it comes Tough Sheet Stadium, David Jones, our friend from Bolton, curiously missing from the comments right now. They said it was known as the TS.
He was in last night's show.
I was saying the TS Stadium. He said it to be called the TS Stadium. It'll, like you said, it'll always be the Reebok, won't it? Then it became Macron, didn't it? Then University of Bolton. Imagine they put my road over all these name changes.
I remember meeting Yuri Joko before a game there. Do you remember him, Matt?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. France.
That's some good players, didn't they, Bolton, back in the day under Big Sam?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, look, he got mentioned numerous times there. So, I mean, look, I know you've done some player ratings. Let's start with my old friend Two Touch, Christian Walton, and he had 2 big touches yesterday, didn't he? That saving the first half and the penalty. What do you think then? Look, I've been quite critical of him. Well, in terms of his distribution, I have, which I think is fair comment. He's not been very good. But in terms of a shot stopper, we mentioned Friday, didn't we? Probably the second best keeper in the league behind Cooper. Maybe that got his back up. He's now saved 2 penalties out of 2, haven't they?
Yeah, look, I think you have moments in your season, Matt.
Yeah.
And the one at Cambridge when he saved from Joe Ironside, that was probably a crucial moment then because that would have been 2-0 and we probably wouldn't. I know we're disappointed that we only took a point, but we probably would have lost that game.
I thought he wouldn't save either. Yeah, he had a great record with pens.
And then obviously yesterday he set the clean sheet record, didn't he? 596 minutes now since we've last conceded. I was speaking to Colin about that. It's where we are now, but when you look at the leagues, like Colin said, he's been supporting us for over 50 years.
Yeah.
And I think 50 of them years we've been in the top division, and then there's only 4 in League One. The top 2 divisions, I mean, but we've been in League One. But it is a club record, and we have to say, look, well done to Christian Walton and the back for the whole team. Defenders won, I say, from the front. But yeah, Walton yesterday, good save first off. I will come on to Cameron Burgess in a minute about that defending again. Loses a point for me on the markings because that was, but Walton, stood up there and the penalty saver. Look, he's obviously done his homework. I listened to the interview he was with George Hurst, both of them after the game. And they know, don't they, Matt, now where these players look. You've got so much technology and video analysis, and you can watch everything. So I don't think Dion Charles was going to take it, was he? At the time, it looked like someone else was going to take it. Then he took the ball. Yeah, I don't think it was the greatest penalty ever.
No, white in the corner, was it?
He's gone the right way, and he's saved it, and it's a massive moment in the game because back to 1-1. Started poorly, didn't we? Second half, I think. For 5 or 10 minutes, that was the only gripe I've got yesterday, Matt, that we came out second half and we started a little bit slow, bit lethargic, but it's moments in games. You know, he's saved the penalty. He's got us out of jail there. Was it a penalty? Yeah. We can talk about that a bit later. But
100%, I think, but we'll come to that in a bit.
I think he's made a move. He's gone over, but we would have wanted a penalty if it was at the other end. But look, he's got us out of jail there, and he's proving that he's a good goalkeeper. I think his distribution yesterday, the game it wasn't so much because look, we can talk about their distribution, Matt. You know, from Trafford.
Let's go there. Let's go there.
They were doing it. All these teams play out from the back, from the goal kick, and it's you've got to have a lot of confidence in your players to play that way. You have to, But if teams want to do that, break the press, break the lines. But I think yesterday, when it was going back to Bolton, there was a lot of times just first time clearance, get rid of the ball. Conditions weren't that great either. It was raining. I think you have to pick and choose sometimes. I know this is how we play, but I think sometimes when conditions suit, I think sometimes you just got to go route one. And we do play a lot more. We said this on Friday and a couple of times before. But since January, Matt, we're playing more direct.
100% we are. Look, I've got some stats here. Now, you'll remember through February, the dark period of the winter of February, where I got very negative because I said, McKenna's not going to get us out of this league playing the way we are. Let's get him gone. Pompey, 618 passes. Lincoln against 10 men, just under 600. And then the debacle that was Cambridge, 520. Bristol Rovers, 556. Now suddenly we're seeing 2 back-to-back away wins. MK Dons, 408. And yesterday, 328. Well, I said, my take on it was that we were trying to play championship football against League One teams. That wasn't working. And it wouldn't get us within the top 2. And I think you're right. You've seen a much more direct approach. We've seen much quicker. There's more energy. I don't know whether that's now Hurst has found his feet a little bit and it's pressure on Ladapo and Ladapo scoring goals and Chaplin's come to the forefront. All those things in the mix have propelled us back towards the top 2 because it looked a lost cause, didn't it, after Bristol Rovers? Everyone's having a row with Morsey after the game. I'm calling for the manager to be gone and get someone in who knows what they're doing. But fair play to Kieran. He's turned it around. We're within touching distance of him, aren't we? I mean, surely that's the kind of football we want to see, really, isn't it? Because you don't get 3 points for possession, do you? You know what I mean?
I think sometimes there's times to play and then there's times to go a little bit more direct. And if you look at that first half yesterday, Matt, it wasn't a great game, was it? It was just a bit of a mess. It was it was
tense, wasn't it? It was watchable.
Yeah, it was. A lot of balls were in the air. It was it was a battle. It was a slog. But I think we showing a bit more grit and we got a bit more about us yesterday. I was saying to Gov in the post-match show yesterday, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Over 2,000 views already. But Brilliant. We've got a bit more devil. You know, there was the time, Nathan Broadhead, right, we like him as a footballer. He's a brilliant footballer, but he's got that bit of edge for me, Matt. He done a bit of a niggly one in the first half where he's got Matey in the back. I love the one in the second half. I know it's a bit crude. Their right back's running away and he's just literally ankle Achilles. Stop the play. He's got a yellow card. Fair enough. But for too long, we've been a soft touch. We've been too nice.
Agreed,
and we've got to have a bit about us, you know, to get out of this league. We see Sheffield Wednesday come down to ours. Were they the best football team? No. They've got the know-how. They've got the physicality, and I think we are learning. I think Kieran's learning. You know, I think it's all right when you're winning though. Like yesterday when he brings Donatian on, a lot of people scratching their head. Why is he taking Clark off? But he knew at that time in the game, he's more forward thinking, isn't he, than JD?
Oh God, yeah.
But JD, I think, is a better defender, if I'm being honest, at the minute. You know, so he's made that tactical change there, and he's got it right. Now, when you're winning, everyone lauds the manager. Yeah, brilliant substitution.
Yeah.
If we don't win that game, JD makes a mistake or something, everyone's saying, well, why did he take Clark off? You know, but I think at that time, he's getting these things right. And football, look, when you're winning, Matt, everything's rosy in the garden. It's when we weren't winning, and what was it, 4 wins in 15, and we were struggling.
It was bad, wasn't it? It was
you
bad.
know,
Just don't get away from it. That was bad.
We were just drawing too many games. It wasn't that we were playing terrible. It was where we should have been bloody beating these teams, and we haven't, and we've put ourselves in this position. But listen, it's 5 wins, so we just have to be happy and just roll on to the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's a question for you. You talked about Bolton playing out from the back. Who looks more uncomfortable, Bolton playing out from the back or Duncan Ferguson talking about vegan food?
Oh,
might edge towards Bolton.
What about that? Yeah, there it was. Was it the cross on?
Yeah.
I'm look, big Dunk, massive fan, love him. Sold your soul to the devil there.
Yeah, he deserves better, Big Duncan. He deserves to be in charge of Millwall, the like. You know, someone's going to suit his personality, not vegan food. But yeah, I felt like Bolton yesterday, even though we like that Santos, he's a big lump, isn't he? That's what we miss, I think, in our centre halves. Big lumps. Because Burgess is a bit of beanpole, isn't he? And Wolf is kind of in the middle, really, good with the ball at his feet. But they did not look comfortable from Trafford, did they? And it was quite predictable. It came out to the middle and out to our left, didn't it?
Yeah, if you look at their form, that was their first home defeat since the 5th of November. They've only conceded 9 goals before that in 18 games. So, look, hats off to us to go there. Look, that was our second win against a team in the top 6. We beat Derby at home. And now we've beaten them yesterday. So, and I think it was the time that we needed to go there. I said Friday, you know, it's all right beating all these teams like Burton's and Forest Greens and Morecambe's. Yeah. No disrespect to them, Matt, but we should be doing the job on them.
Annihilating them.
We should be beating them. But you had to lay down that marker and give everyone, your fan base. Look, we've had too many false dawns as Town fans, not just in the last couple of years. For the last 20 years, we've done absolutely nothing. Other than
not even 5 games on the trot, Rich.
Other than a playoff season under McCarthy, fair enough. But we've had so many false dawns, and I think it's only human nature that the fan base gets a little bit twitchy when things are not going right. So, but then when you beat a team, and we've laid down the marker, if we don't get top 2, look, we've got a really good opportunity now. We've made a statement there. If we play Bolton again in the playoffs, Matt, we've proved that we can go there and beat them once. So if we have to play them again, we can go there and beat you again. You know, we shouldn't be fearing going to Barnsley in a couple of weeks. I know Barnsley are on absolute fire at the minute. You know, the new manager, Michael Duff, he's come in from Cheltenham. He's got them playing some brilliant stuff, you know. So, but we shouldn't be scared about going there. They should be looking at us and thinking, hang on, if we can win again next Saturday, that'd be 6 on the spin going there.
Yes.
Come on. They should be worried what we're doing. You know, for
it shows you the fine lines, doesn't it? Because you said Friday night, if we were to lose and Plymouth were to win, would have been 8 points behind.
Yeah.
And here we are, cook a hoop, 2 points behind. And everything's back
exactly.
in the garden.
It is a game of small margins, and we can all look at fixtures and we can all try and work out what's going to happen between now and May. And I think you do your head in if you think, oh, look, you win that game, you lose that. Football doesn't always pan out the way we think it does.
No, you know? And at Plymouth, look, we're looking at Plymouth's games on paper. I mean, it's Colin was saying on the phone to me yesterday. Plymouth still got to go to Accrington, haven't they? And Morecambe and those places.
I think they're going to go to Accrington on the Tuesday. I think Matchday was saying this morning, it's either them or Morecambe. They play them on the Tuesday before they play in the cup final.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting.
So I think the weekend we played Derby, that's the weekend of the Papa John. So we could go ahead of them. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but we could go ahead of them and look, they might have a game in hand. But then the pressure ramps up again on them.
Well, even more so.
If we could get ahead of them, they might have a game in hand, but they've still got to win it. And they're looking, I said a couple of weeks ago on here, I'm not saying Plymouth are not going to get second. No one knows what's going to happen. No. But psychologically for them, Matt, they know last season that they fell away quite badly and missed out on the playoffs altogether.
Well, they did fade away pretty quick, actually. I think by October, they'd gone down to 6th. And then they went to 7th.
To me, that has to still be fresh in their memory.
Yeah, maybe.
I just think human nature, you think, oh, bloody hell, we've done it last season. Now we've had 2 or 3 not at home. Look, brilliant at home. It's just the away form there, like Paul P says. That's what might come down to it. It might be a case of, if you look at our home games, Matt, we've got Shrewsbury, Wycombe, Port Vale, Charlton, Exeter.
Very winnable games.
Got to be 5 wins there.
I
think it might come down to our away form.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Barnsley out, but Barnsley got some really tough games as well. They've still got to play us Wednesday. But we've got Barnsley, Derby, Cheltenham, Peterborough, Fleetwood. I think it might come down to who has the best away form out of us and Plymouth.
I think it's going to be pretty much written that Plymouth aren't going to drop too many points at home, are they? Was it 1 defeat all season there?
Yeah,
I can't see them dropping too many.
1 defeat.
But as we obviously sadly lost Mystic Meg this week, I've christened Richard Chandler Crystal Ball Chandler because he said this would happen. And of course, they've shipped 5. Crystal Ball Chandler, on the Discord. They shipped 5 at Peterborough. Who saw that coming? And I thought Barnsley might beat them yesterday. Like a 1-0 or something. Certainly, I didn't see a 3-0 coming. So that's 8 goals conceded.
Funny you say about Mystic Meg in the Discord. If you want to become a Talking Town 5th stander, Matt, get on the Discord. Yeah. What do you have to do?
Head over to, I think, our Ko-Fi. Drop in a $5 a month. You get access to our Discord. We had some Talking Town.
You can be a YouTube member as well on YouTube. I think there's a link on there to click. If you don't know what you're doing, just message Gov. He's the man with all the.
He's the man. I think if you go onto YouTube, you'll see Perks, and you can not Neil Perks, our good friend from Plymouth, but Perks, YouTube Perks. You can join. You can join from there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, let's go on. So we've covered Bolton. Man of the match yesterday. It's got to be, surely.
Yeah, I think it has to be when you look at the crucial moments,
Yeah, they were
crucial moments in games.
Season-changing moments, Rich, potentially.
Yeah, that could be season-defining. When you look at where we are come May, you might think, well, yeah, that penalty save at Bolton. Yeah, I'll give him a 9 yesterday, Walton.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, let's move on to Harry Clark then. I really like his kind of attacking endeavour. Like you said, that's a level up from what Donastian brings you, even though Genoy against some of these crappier teams, the Atkinsons and that, as we saw Tuesday, was getting forward. I mean, Harry really gets forward and he's looking to shoot. And I think he used to be a striker, didn't he? Because he scored the goal in that viral clip, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we know he's got a finish in him. And anytime he's around the box, he's looking to let fly, I think. But you still think there might be a little question mark there on some of his sort of defensive?
Yeah, defensive look. He's only just come in. Yeah. I'll give him a 7 yesterday. I thought he was good going forward. Good, yeah. I think if you look at both fullbacks, that's just the way we play. The space, they do leave a little bit of space in behind. And there was a couple of times there we were literally 2v2. Yes. But I haven't got a problem with that because I want us to attack and I want us to get on the front foot. So
me too, yeah. Better than that.
And with the position we're in at the minute, we need to be winning games. Draws are not a lot of good because they put us in this position in the first place. So yeah, Harry Clark I thought he was good. I could see why he went off and Donastian come on. We were 1-0 up.
Shore it up
just to shore it up a little bit. Yeah, I'll give him a 7, and I'd give, if you go into the other side, Leif Davis. That is 10 assists now, Matt, and we have scored 21 out of our 70 goals from set pieces. 30% of our goals.
While I'm taking credit for this change of play, light a little fire under McKenna's backside. He's now gone more direct after our shows. Martin keeps saying he was calling for Leif to go on corners, didn't he? Before we saw it. It's a fair play to that, Link incoming in 5 minutes. Link incoming. 5 minutes warning. Link incoming. I wonder who we'll get. Stephen Parry, maybe. He was there yesterday.
Yeah, Parry's at the game.
Back to Harry Clark quickly. He got injured, didn't he, in the first half and was down in the centre circle and then had to walk over to the other side.
Yeah.
He was getting absolute pelters from the locals, wasn't he? I mean, they were proper up on their seats and doing the old signs and this and that and all the kind of things we wouldn't discuss before 9 o'clock, which I thought was slightly harsh.
1 second half, were they?
They got home by then.
Very quiet second half.
Yeah. And of course, what made them go quiet was Cameron Burgess's excellent header from Leaf's corner. Cameron, another player I thought isn't quite good enough for Town. Now, we had a conversation, didn't we, at half-time yesterday, didn't we?
No, hang on. What did you said he should never play for the club.
Well, I said maybe he should not think about playing for Town. I did tell you I had a funny February.
When it comes back to bite us.
Well, yeah, hashtag funny February. Here's live broadcast, everybody. I've been thinking about it today. It was a great header. Brilliant. But we had a phone call at half-time, didn't we? We both said, if we're going to concede, it might come from his side because he just seems too easy to...
This is what I say about when Leif Davis gets forward and we get caught, like that was the chance first half when Davis was. Well, I think Luongo's given the ball away in the centre of the field, and then their guys got in. Now that's where, for me, if I was the opposition, I would be looking to isolate Burgess 1v1.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially on that sort of left side, because I think Wickham, there was the goal at Wickham. There was another goal somewhere. I can't remember what game, but I think if you're 1v1, he doesn't. It's definitely the one when the guy got the goal in the first
opening goal. It was the opening goal, yeah.
Yeah, Vilshut, that was the guy. I'd be looking to isolate him 1v1 because I think there's a weakness there running at him.
Yeah.
And
I think he's good at this level, but I think if we do get to the champ, I think that maybe that left side is one they'll have to look at. But I mean, look, I don't want to knock Burgess. Great goal, great header yesterday. Fair play to him. Do you know what I mean?
I'm giving him people might think in the chat I'm being harsh. I'm giving him a 7 yesterday because he got caught out there. He's given away the penalty.
He did give away the penalty.
Was
it's
it
always
a penalty?
Burgess, isn't it? That's another thing that rolls me.
Was it a penalty? I think it was. A lot of people thought
he was. Yeah, what did you say? Everyone in the comments.
But look, he scored a goal. Solid 7.
Solid
7. I think his defensive partner yesterday, Wolfen, was excellent. People are not speaking about him. I thought he went really under the radar yesterday, Wolfie. I thought he had a really good game. He'd done everything correctly, and I'd actually give Wolfenden an 8 out of the two of them. I thought he was the better defender, mate. I thought he defended better than. But look,
you've got company there, haven't you? Is the puppy in?
He wants to go out. Dominic Dean, there you go. Look, he's giving 9.
Oh, fair play. Now, would you have given Burgess a 9 had you not given away the penalty and maybe been a little bit more quicker and more positive in his defensive play, maybe? You've definitely lost the point there for the pen, haven't you? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and the other one. Because I think he's too easy to get by one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's where, if I was an opposition manager, I'd be looking, if Leif Davis gets caught further forward on, what do we call it? Is it the counter-attack? Is it the transition? I know Martin doesn't like that. But that's where I'll be looking to get at Wolfie. Not Wolfie, Burgess.
Yeah, Burgess, yeah.
I'd isolate him 1v1. Someone with quick feet, I think you could be in trouble. And I do agree with you there. You know, I think at this level, he's a good player. But if we get out of this league, and we all hope that we do, we just have to, we can't be, Cameron's a good player, whatever. We have to be ruthless. I'm sorry. That's just football for me.
Well, it will be. I mean, look, we're not the only club and supporters that feel that way. That's just the nature of football, isn't it? You do a job, you get promoted. We might be shopping in a different supermarket. Breaking news, everybody. Mogger Sunderland has beaten Norwich 1-0, which means Sunderland have won the Friendship Trophy, Rich.
Oh, did you see that this morning?
Yeah. 1985.
Tell people about it if you're not on the socials.
Well, what we didn't know was you probably wouldn't know this, but Norwich actually won a trophy in 1985, beating Sunderland 1-0 in the League Cup final at Wembley. Terrible game. We should have been in that final. That's the game we should have been in, wasn't it, Rich?
Oh, don't talk to me about that Milk Cup.
We were both
that night when I was listening to the radio. Steve Bruce.
I've never got over that. We were all in tears. Terry Butcher was so angry, he kicked the door off the Carrow Road dressing room.
He broke it, didn't he?
Yeah. So to celebrate that, who knew this was a thing? Whenever they play each other, whoever wins the game gets the Friendship Trophy, which presumably is a major honour for Norwich in their programme, alongside. I
did see that when Notts Forest played Derby, they played for a trophy.
Do they?
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest should be playing for ridiculous Tim Port trophies. Won the European Cup twice.
Yeah, I'm not having this that we're playing for trophies. Someone on the socials this morning said we should play for a trophy when we play Newcastle because it's a Bobby. No, not for me. Do you remember the Hospital Cup when we played for that, Matt?
Yeah. That was kind of a thing in the 70s, wasn't it?
Some good games, eh?
Texaco Cup. Texaco Cup. Well, have we got Phil ready to come in and see us? Is he ready?
Phil might be coming on last. I think we've got Steve Parry. I think Rob's coming in from Australia today because
love that.
He messaged me this morning.
Hey, is Phil
there? He is.
He's here now.
G'day.
How are you?
How are you doing? I was thinking you'd not been on for a while. I thought you'd gone off us, gone somewhere else for your
Ipswich. Busy. Been busy.
I've been busy with work and everything, but been watching all the games from like last year. Just finally decided to pop on. Not working today, so
Rob's probably been thinking that Matt Phillips. He's been talking absolute crap. I'm just going to leave it for a little while.
I have.
And then come on and have a go.
I'm very flaky, Rob. You can see I'm dressed for Australia. I'm dressed for Australia today.
Looks like you're ready to umpire a cricket game, mate.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you get to watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely.
Was that an early hours thing for you?
It was 11 p.m. yesterday.
Oh, not too bad. Which part of Australia are you in again? Remind us.
Perth.
Okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. So what are your thoughts then? Obviously, you had different weather to what you saw at the University of Bolton Stadium, presumably.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant yesterday. We started a bit slow, I think, again, but, scoring at the right time, that a sensational goal by Hurst really set us up for second half. Shit penalty give away, but again, Bolton,
I said Friday, Rob. What were the keys to victory? Don't give away a crappy penalty. What do we do? This time we got away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Luongo played really well yesterday.
There you go. Now you see you've got an interest there, haven't you? Oh, Massimo. Now, would you keep Massimo for next season? Of course you would.
Absolutely. Well, if he keeps playing, I think he's getting better and better each week. So if he keeps playing,
he is.
I see yesterday, Rob, that Kira was saying after the game, because obviously Dominic Ball was on the bench, which is amazing. Look at you were on here, Rob, when Paul Lambert was in charge, and the amount of injuries we had, and these players, they never ever got fit, did they?
Yeah.
Dominic Ball, unbelievable. We thought we'd never see him again, but he did actually say that he was surprised that Massimo lasted the 90 minutes. That's his first 90 minutes, Matt, since God knows when.
He was at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
been a while.
Yeah, he's at another club since.
I said about him last night, Rob, on the full-time show. I think then Massimo and Morsey, I think going forward for the next 10 games, if they both stay fit, free of suspension, I think Sam's got 2 more games. I think Massimo Luongo, right? He's obviously had fitness issues, but he knows, with his experience, Rob, in a game, he knows where to be, fill the gaps on the pitch. No disrespect to Cameron Humphreys, and I think he's done really, really well. Yeah. And he's played more games than he probably thought that he would, and probably that we did. But I think in this running, I think you need that know-how.
Yeah, it just seems like though Luongo and Morsey seem to calm Morsey down a bit.
Yeah, agreed.
Doesn't get booked now, does he?
More settled and a bit more not rushing it, but that could also be the 9 yellows as well. Morsey could be like, oh, I better be careful.
Yeah.
When does it actually reset?
I think he's got two more games.
Yeah.
2 more games.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's you've got 8 games left.
I do agree with that. If you watch a game now, Morsey doesn't really have to do much tackling, Rob, because he's got Luongo alongside him, who can get his foot. He can get his foot in, and I think Sam's done really well because he's managed his game. Because when did he get his 8th yellow card, Matt? That must have been before Christmas. He's gone a long time now, and he's only just got this one.
It's 8 games, I think. I think it's 8 games since he last got booked. That's unheard of in his career, surely.
As well as he got, should never have gotten anyway. So,
and
of course, he got away with it as well. So,
and a fellow countryman scored yesterday, Cameron Burgess.
Absolutely,
yeah, the Australian connection.
It's all added up by Robson today.
Yeah, it's all added up now. I'm putting it all together. Let's get on the show. What did you think of that opening goal, though, Rob? I mean, like, what a break and
sensational strike, wasn't it?
Sensational.
Luongo to Jackson, straight into Hurst, just bang.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, look, we keep having a debate with Martin. Martin likes to call Burns big game Burns because sometimes he goes missing. But I don't think he had. We'll come to your midfield ratings in a minute, Rich. But I don't think he had the greatest of games yesterday. But you can't deny the fact that he runs the length of the pitch, puts in a perfect cross. It's volleyed in. That's what you want from him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that shirt behind you there? I know the Ipswich one. What's the one over your top left shoulder?
That one.
That's the town one, and then you've got a purple one.
Oh, the Perth Glory one. That's my local.
Oh, right, okay. And were you over in the UK to get that Ipswich away top signed then?
No, I won that at an auction, I think.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah.
Look, the Cruncher's jealous, I can tell. He's behind that free ball.
Who have we got? What have we got on there, signature-wise?
It's nice.
I can't even like tell half them, to be honest, because there's like a little key here, but they don't look very
Has he got
That's
DJ
elite
Campbell on
table
there?
shirt.
That's the shirt we were wearing when Mick took over.
Yeah, I think it is.
This is like
Is
2012,
Patrick
2012.
It is.
Kisnorbo on there, Rob? Can you have a look? He was there that time, wasn't he? Do you remember him?
It is. It is. From that era,
Billy
yeah.
Mojny, Matt. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He hardly played.
So he was like a bit of a rascal from Southend.
Yeah, he was
wasn't
a rascal.
Well,
Yeah.
while we got you, Rob, before we say goodbye, what was I going to say to you? Yes, second. Can we get second?
I think we can, but obviously, I think, as Crunch just said, I think it's going to be up to away form.
Yeah. We've got very winnable home games, haven't we? Those 5, we've got to win those 5, right, at home. It's
And
what
Plymouth-
can we do?
Plymouth are looking a little shaky, aren't they?
I'd be worried if I
If
was
you-
a Plymouth fan and
Just
conceded
before Rob
8
goes,
and 2.
if you look over them last 5 games, obviously we won, Rob. We've gained 14 goals as well, plus 14 on Plymouth. Now,
Yeah.
our goal difference, I think, is it plus 39, Matt? I think we're about 14, 15 goals better than Plymouth. Now,
As
for
good as a
me,
point. As good as a
that's
point.
worth another point, Rob. I
Yeah.
think he could
Yeah.
even come down to goal difference at the end.
I think our issue has been our defence, really. We've been scoring. It's just giving away shit goals when we shouldn't be giving away goals.
True.
yeah, absolutely. I tell you, Colin agreed with me this yesterday. The Man United loan they had from at Bolton, Sholteri, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's getting right on my wickham. Colin thought he should have got a red card, jumping in on tackles, and if we tackled him, he went down like a wet lettuce.
Before Rob goes, I want to ask you: have you got Colin's book yet?
No, I haven't. keep meaning to.
Get it in.
Get it in. It's a good read, mate. It's a very good read.
Great
So, I don't know what it is. It's about £8 here. I don't know what that. What's that? 50 Australian dollars? I don't know what that translates to these days.
I don't even know what the exchange rate is. But I
It's a good one. It's a good one. Starts from the 60s all the way through to now. So it's
wow.
good.
Well, it's
good.
funny.
It's been good.
Talking about exchange rate. So Mark Dowling's book I sent over to Ireland.
Yeah.
It was about £8, and he had to pay for it at the other end.
Oh, wow.
Could have treated him.
I mean, what's going on?
Anything else you want to say to the Ipswich community, the global community that you brought to us here, Rob? Anything you want to say? Any shout outs?
No, that's it. Just keep going, keep pushing, boys, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Still, but
absolutely.
also before I go quickly, I don't think the play this form going in now is actually very handy if we do miss out on the top 2.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Totally
So-
agree. You need momentum going into that. We've always said that, Rich. You don't want to be going into those games with losses. You've got to be riding a crest of a wave as you would on the Golden Coast in Australia, I would say, is what we've got to be doing. All right, Rob. It's good to see you, mate. We'll catch up with you very soon. That was good, wasn't it?
Yes.
Look, global. Talking Town goes global.
We do-
Back in the day when we used to have no viewers.
Should we quickly do the midfielders before? Is it Steve Parry's in next? I think he's in next.
I think so. I was expecting Rob in third, but that was all good.
Don't worry.
Yes. Do you want to do your midfield? So let's go. Where do you want to start? Wes Burns? We just mentioned him. Big game,
I'll give
Burns.
Wes an 8. I'll give Wes an 8.
It was a great run and cross.
Yeah, superb. I know a lot of people have been saying about his crossing, but what did he run? 70 yards.
Yeah.
Nick that ball. Great delivery.
absolutely.
And that's one of them goals. I said it was I'm not biased. I ain't biased. If you look at his figures, 12 goals, 6 assists last season.
Yeah.
5 goals this season, and he's already got 7 assists. And people were saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be in the team." Play Jackson.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Big game Burns. Big game Burns delivers again.
nice.
You know, Wes is nailed on to play the majority of the games from now till the end of the season.
Yeah. I think certainly after yesterday, in those difficult conditions, great run, great control, great cross, great goal. Massimo. Now we're getting the connection of why Rob came in now, don't we? Because we've got Massimo. Again, another solid performance, I thought. And as Rob said there, I think he has taken the pressure off Moulsey. I think Moulsey probably got a little more trust in him. He probably had to baby in the nicest, politest way. Probably has to baby Humphreys a little bit because he's inexperienced and he's eager and he runs up and down the pitch and it's all the good things we like. But you probably can't in this run now. You probably can't beat an experienced head next to you, can you?
I don't think he had the best game, and I agree with Gov. There was a couple of times he did give the ball away. I'll give him a 7 yesterday.
Got a yellow as well, didn't he?
I think second half, them two we sort of controlled the middle of the pitch. Sam Morsey, I'm going to give a 9. I thought he led again. Look, he has benefited from Luongo playing alongside him. He definitely has.
Yeah,
you know,
I
he
do
can just
agree.
concentrate on what he does. He doesn't have to be that box-to-box midfielder. You know,
it doesn't really suit him either. He hasn't got the legs for it, I don't think. And certainly in heavy conditions like yesterday, I don't. You know, it would have probably highlighted his weaknesses a little bit. Yeah, so I think Luongo has done that. And then on the other side, who we got? Who was on the? Oh, we're heading to the. Where we're going to head. That's the front three. We'll say. Do you want to do some takeaways and we'll get someone else in? Oh, who was that going to be? We don't know. Could do quick.
Steve Parry.
It's going to be Steve Parry. Oh, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring Steve in.
Hold fire, Steve. I will be with you in probably 2 minutes. Right, quickly. Second page. Paging, momentum slowly growing. Andrew Peck, gap, 2 points. Christian Davis, a professional display. Chris Dowsin, hunting them down. Rob, watch out. Plymouth. Matt Stannard, bad hair, Dave. The referee's name is Hair.
Your hair, I like that. Yeah, we've
Bluey, ITFC. Bluey.
Wow, the actual mascot. Love that.
Absolutely chuffing huge from his horse box. How about a bit of hay? Steve, that was massive. Ashley Anton, statement, fucking win. A lot of swearing here. Steve Wilds, fucking get in. Daisy Hendry, upper fucking town. Jason Warren, Walton penalty save. The Norfolk golfer, bloody blinding win. Jen Bacon, that felt good. Paul PDEP, better the hunted than the hunter.
Yeah.
Andrew Plum, Ian's brother, Colin's son.
Love
Get
that.
to anyone wanting launch tickets? Get in contact with me. We're hosting.
We are.
Confidence boosting win. David Strang. This is going back to the relegation day against Birmingham. Do you remember when they played over the Tannoy? Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Tractor Boy Botswana, shout out.
Hey.
Blue Army marching. Sam Stannard, Matt's brother. We've got this. Leando, perfect away performance. Uncle Peter, first statement win. Barry, ITFC man. Walton saves again. Damn King, I still believe. Aaron on our way. Ken Chapman, Fleetwood promotion party. I'm going to be there. Phil Kerridge will be on the Cod's Vlogs that day, Matt. Nice. Watch out, Plymouth. Kev Sherwood, keep the faith. Dino, what save? Stuart, spread, bridge, solid, determined performance. Neil, outclassed the rival. Andy Wilson, here we go. Andrew Leggett, Walton is back. Dave Eaton, moving on up. And I'll save the last page for the end of the show.
Lovely.
Steve Parry, where are you?
Teased him twice. Where is he?
I'm here.
He's in the house. Our Northwest branch is here. How you doing, Steve?
I'll make the wife's laptop so you've not got me phone.
All aboard the SS Sideways with Captain Parry.
Hey, look, I like I said, I watched the Portsmouth and the Morecambe game, and I said Bolton are seriously exposed on the wings. Their fullbacks bomb forward so far. You get the ball over them, and it's like acres of space.
You're right.
Wings. And the defends narrow. It's so narrow, it's unreal. And they only pushed out when Burns got to 18-yard line. So he had plenty of time. I was looking at that game and I watched it back again this morning because you can get different views on iFollow than what you do there, especially when you're up in the gods. You know what I mean? Because I mainly wanted to look back at the penalty. I do think it was a penalty, but I think we deserved a penalty as well. Yeah. So
Gov says, just hold on, Steve. Gov says we are on 4,376 subscribers. Can we hit 4,400 by the end of the show, Matt? We need 24.
Well,
24 people. There must be people watching who haven't subscribed.
Can't believe such a thing.
The wife of me can't subscribe, so I can't.
Don't worry, I'm not giving away any more tickets.
Anyway, I was just saying, at the end of the day, I can understand why it was a bit of a stodgy first half. We were away from home. Our form is not as good away from home as it was. It was a top six side. You just have to read Twitter on Friday about what people think about top six sides, and it was away from home. Bolton hadn't lost since October. They've conceded 9 goals all season. These narratives were building up before the game. So I can understand why it was a bit of a stodgy first half. But we got that lucky break from a poor pass. And I think it was a beautiful goal by Hurst. That's the sort of goal he needed. You know what I mean? I know he scored a similar goal to at Burnley. You know what I mean? That's the threat he offers. He just drifted off their defender. He didn't even know he'd gone. And before he knows it was in back at net.
I think it's all about being clinical, Steve, at the key moments.
That was a clinical finish.
That was a clinical goal, bang, with Nick Moore.
Nobody's
great thing. Like I said last night, it was. I would say he caressed it into the net, Matt.
I laughed at that. I enjoyed that. You can just imagine stroking his foot on the side of the ball. Yeah,
it was one of the ones like in training, Steve. They must do that every day. You know, practicing them crossing and this the striker running in. It was a really good run. You know, he made two movements there to get in front of that defender.
From that, I think we needed it because you felt something lift off the players. You know, I know we had a start at second half, but I don't know whether that was more us or whether they had no choice but to come at us. You know, it's people can say, well, we drop off at start at second half, but they don't think about the fact that, well, the other team's got to try a bit harder. You know, they just rock it up and then they come out and give us a bit more of a showing. You know, so it's not always the fact that we drop off. It could be the fact that they've just had a bit of an air dryer and they'll like try a bit harder. You know, but I don't think that gave us a lift, that goal. And it was like, because there was so much on it, you know, and at the end you could tell how much it meant to them. You know, the players, it took them an age to come to the fans. Normally they come pretty much straight away. They were all celebrating with each other, coaches and everything. That meant a hell of a lot, that, because that was a statement win. You know, nobody can turn around now and say we can't go away from home and win against the top six side, because we have. You know, we've gone against a team who's probably conceded the least goals at home this season, and we've got two goals.
I watched the Ian Everts interview, Steve, and he was really fair with what he said, and he said the save sapped and drained the life out of us and the fans. That's the penalty miss.
Yeah. I agree with that. They just, because it could have been 3 or 4. Arnis had a golden opportunity.
Yeah. He did.
That was a brilliant save from Ladapo's shot. He just struck that. And how Trafford got that, I do not know. But you know, it could have been a hatful at the end of the day. Second half, we were just bossing them all over the place after the penalty miss. And I think you're right. I think the confidence just sapped out of them, and it was like a one-sided affair. No, but everyone says, well, you know, it's only 2 points. Yeah, let's keep our feet on the ground. It was 10 points a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying now Barnsley are in great form. Well, everyone was saying this about Bolton 2 weeks ago. You know, it wasn't so long back that Barnsley were in great form, and then they lost 3 in a row. You know, this is League One football. You know, everyone was saying Derby was in great form. Derby's struggled to get a result these days. You know, both Bolton and Derby, to me, they're on the verge of dropping out the playoffs if they don't book their ideas up. You know, so you've got to think like Wickham's got 2 games in hand on both of them. You know, so there's
bad defeat for Wickham yesterday at Burton, though.
It wasn't. That was a bad defeat.
Derby was a good win at Oxford, Steve. So I think the top 6 are still now.
It was a good win at Oxford, but 3-2 at Oxford. Come on, Derby. If you know, you don't go to Oxford when Oxford's playing badly. I know we didn't win, but
let's not go there then.
No, yeah, but they were playing in a game where you couldn't see 4 inches in front of you.
What do you think to Liam Manning's appointment, Steve? Why are you talking about Oxford? What do you think to Manning's appointment? We spoke about it Friday, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah. The Fisherman likes Manning.
About it. Yeah. I'm really not. Unless they're prepared, because you can argue, did he get the right players in? And I'll say no. Was he the one getting the players in? I don't know. You know, but he took over a good side and everyone was lauding him as, you know, the next big thing. But he had a good side. And then you take that side away, and what did he end up doing? He ended up getting sacked. You know, that's what happens. Is he going to go into Oxford and make them better? I don't really think so. But he's got to be backed. He's got to be given some room to bring players in. Because I don't see any players there who want to play the way he wants to play. Everyone says Carl Robertson plays passing football. He doesn't play passing football. It's just get as far forward as quickly as he can before get to a big man. That is Carl Robinson. Always has been. You know, they pass a little bit and then they say, look, we're a passing team. Same as Bolton. I don't see why people were saying Bolton are a passing side. I saw none of it yesterday. It was like, get the ball as quick as you can between the goalkeeper and the back 3 and then pass it as far forward as you can to a forward. That was their passing style. If that's passing style, then I'm sorry. It's not. That's not, to me, that's not passing. Passing is to play, because they don't like passing it. When you press them, they don't like it, and they didn't like it yesterday.
Yeah, no, great.
You know, but I do think that game was a watershed. It can mean now we can go to Derby and say, we've laid a marker. We've beat the top 6 side away. We can, you know, who's not conceded any goals. We can go to Barnsley. We can mix it with them. And that, you know, Plymouth will be looking at that and saying, we've got to turn up. And let's not forget, there's the elephants in the room yet. They've got a Papa John's Trophy final. You know, the players will not go all out. They'll say they'll go all out, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them won't the week before or the week after because they'll be knackered. And I think they've got Morecambe. I think it's 2 days after Papa John's.
He said after, didn't he? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That away after a Papa John's Trophy final, especially if they lose, that could be a really bad result. If they win, it could be a really bad result because they'll be partying. You know what I mean? But that could be I think that could be the turning point game. That Morecambe away after Papa John's Trophy, because that's a tricky game to go. Even Bolton went there, and in my mind, Bolton should have won. Morecambe should have won. They had the better chance.
Morecambe are a different beast at home than they are away, aren't they? It's going to be whipping boys on the road.
You know,
their own ground.
They took Bolton apart. If they had better forwards, they'd have won that game easy.
Yeah,
and that was against Bolton. But
do you think Steve, going into Barnsley and Derby, those away games, well, even Sheffield, Shrewsbury next week, do you think clubs are going to start getting wise to the fact that we seem to break a lot down the right, stick the ball in, and someone's in the middle to score? I mean, a lot of our goals have been like that recently.
If they do that, we'll just do it down the left. That's the difference between this season and last season. Last season, we only had the right. This season, now we've got the left. And now this season, we've got set pieces. We've got so much more in the armoury, that we didn't have last season. And I'm not saying that means that we're going to get top two, because we might not. I still think the odds are we won't, because we've got some tough games to play. I'm not being naive to say that Derby away and Barnsley away are easy games, because they're not. Even Shrewsbury's not an easy game. But we've got to do what we can do. That's all we can do. Focus on us, and you could tell by the way they celebrated, that meant something to the players and it meant something to the staff. And, at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Just do what we can do. If that gets us second, so be it. If it gets us the playoffs, we know we can take these teams on at their patch. We know we're quite capable of taking them on at our patch, but now we know we can take them on at their patch. If we can beat Barnsley and Derby, or at least draw against Barnsley and Derby, they will be very, all three of those, if they end up being the playoffs, Bolton, Barnsley and Derby, they will not be one of the players in the playoffs.
No,
because they know that we've gone to their ground and they couldn't beat us at their ground. That would be a statement for us. If I want to beat them, but if we can go there and just get a draw, I'll be content with that. Because then when you go into the playoffs, you're playing on you draw at their ground, we'll take you out.
We pretty much speak to you until next week, Steve. Are we expecting from Shrewsbury next week? Because obviously we beat them. Oh, he's gone. What are you doing, Martin? Trigger happy.
Shrewsbury.
What are you expecting? Because we beat them 3-0 there, easy win. But they've sort of surprised everyone and on the verge of the playoffs themselves.
I think we'll win. Yeah. I think there'll be a different animal when it comes to playing at our ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Defensive, maybe?
They probably will, but I don't think they like being defensive. If you can keep the likes of Leahy quiet, they don't really have a lot of options. Yeah. He's getting most of the assists or most of the shots.
Penalties have scored this season, Steve.
I know. If you can be careful and keep the likes of Leahy quiet, I think the fact that they won't get much ball, will probably mean they won't be as effective. But we've just got to go there and do our bit. If we go out there and do our bit, as we've seen over the last 5 games, we're more than a match for anyone. And let's not. I know everybody. I just want to mention this before I go. Everybody mentions the fact that Plymouth's got an easy running, but let's not forget all these teams Plymouth are playing. They've got something to fight for.
Yeah, great.
They've got something more than what we've got to fight for. They've got to. They've got Accrington. They've got Morecambe. They've got Forest Green. You could say they're down, but Morecambe and Accrington, they're fighting for their lives. They're not easy games when teams are fighting for their lives. They can be the hardest.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
I want to say, congratulate. Thank you to everybody I saw at the match yesterday. It was wonderful. I enjoy my away days and get to meet the community.
Yeah, brilliant. Great stuff. How cold was it in the stadium, Steve? How cold was it?
Started reading last night.
The books there, signed.
It was cold because we're in the gods, you know what I mean? They decided to have no fans on the lower tier and everybody gets shoved in the top tiers. I think they said it was, I was talking to a Bolton friend of mine. He said it's because they were worried that people would throw things at players. So they moved everybody upstairs. So I'm thinking, well, I could have hit Trafford from where I was. So
I could see in those empty seats. I could see where I sat on that day. We lost. We were 4-0 down at half time. Rich, Premier League.
Oh, let's not go there.
they all started buggering off after about 65 minutes anyway. So
Yeah. All right, Steve.
All right, look after
you. I'm glad you enjoyed your game. Fantastic. He's gone. Steve has departed.
What we got?
Right, should we do front three? Front three?
Yeah.
Chaplin yesterday. What did you think, Matt? Chaplin. I didn't really think he got in the game so much yesterday.
Struggled to get in the game a little bit yesterday. Maybe it passed him by a little bit. But I mean, look, you can excuse that with the sensational displays he's been having in the other games for us. And as soon as it said they were making subs, I thought, I bet Chaplin's going to be one of the ones that goes. That said, had the chance fell to him that fell to Harness, I feel like Chaplin probably would have buried it.
Yeah, that was at the stage. Obviously, we were 2-0 up, so it's not sort of crucial. It could have been. He should have scored. I think he knows. I gave Chaplin a 7, Matt, yesterday.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, look, he was still busy. Probably just didn't see as much of the balls he's seen against these lesser sides. I'm sure he'll come into his own again next week, hopefully, and then we'll see what happens. What about Hurst? Now some guy.
We'll do Nathan Broadhead.
Go on then.
We'll leave Hurst for last.
Yeah, go on then. The best.
I can gloat a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, Broadhead. He is. I'll give him a 7 yesterday, but he's a top player. He had a really good run there in the first half, didn't he? From the half line, he can get us up the pitch. You know, he's a good player.
Always looking to shoot around the box.
Yeah, he's always looking for them gaps. You said he shouldn't really be playing in this league.
No, I agree.
And I agree. Got a bit of devil, like I said earlier, which I like. He's a winner. It's obviously why he's come to town. You know, he could have easily probably stayed at Everton, or he could have probably stayed in the Championship. Well, he could have stayed at Wigan. He probably wouldn't have got paid.
I feel like he should have got a yellow. I felt he should have got a yellow in the first half. You mean, did that push, the deliberate push?
Shove, yeah. I thought on their commentary was a little bit like, that was a bit naughty, and mate, he fell on his arm.
It was a yellow, wasn't it? I think
he's got the yellow the second half, and he went, mate, he's breaking away, and he's brought him down. But
he probably would have done that on the yellow, maybe, but I don't know.
But I thought that was a good foul. You say it's a good foul.
Yes,
in a position,
absolutely.
Stop their momentum, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you're right. We've seen that before when we've conceded last-minute goals and suddenly it becomes squeaky bum time for us. We haven't done that kind of stuff, have we?
No.
But no, I agree with that. So, would you give him?
I'll give him a 7. Look, I think even these last 10 games, he's going to be a vital player for us. He'll score some crucial goals.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my man George Hurst.
Well, I was going to say your man Hurst. So now some idiot resembling me, but not wearing a hat, said Hurst doesn't have a goal in him. Said he doesn't have a goal in him.
There he is.
And talking of goal scorers, here's Colin. How you doing, Colin?
How are we? Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Yeah.
Just bear with us, Colin. We're just talking Hurst at the moment. So, go on, Rich. What did you give
let
Hurst?
me say this is Kieran's comments, Colin, on the strikers, because a lot of people said, "Oh, look, why is he playing Hurst?" You know, look, Ladapo's playing well. He got January Player of the Month. He's got 14 goals, 16 goals in all competitions, 12 in the league. Kieran said, we've got 2 good strikers who are bringing different qualities and are better suited for different opponents. So I think when we go on the road, it seems as though he wants to play Hurst. He played him at Burnley. Yes. We were there, Colin. He played him at MK. Played him yesterday. I really like him. I think he's that type of player. I think he's a bit of a confidence thing with him, Matt. You know, I think once he can get up and running and playing games, this is another thing I've touched on before, that you need to be playing games to get that momentum.
A different player. Now he's playing games. He does look a different player. When he first come in, Colin, then we said to you in that Burnley game, I said, don't look any different to Ladapo to me. But I mean, look, would Ladapo have scored that goal yesterday? Potentially, but a great cushioned strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people speaking on the coach, going up about obviously what the team would be and everything. I said this young lad, Jamie, I was sitting next to yesterday, he's a really nice lad, actually. Never met him before. Shout out to him. He's a great lad. And knew his stuff and everything. And I said to him, he was talking about the forwards and that. And, it takes a quite, not a very, but a quite brave man to forecast what Kieran's going to do. And that, I've said before, and Rich and Matt, I wouldn't want to play poker against Kieran McKenna. Absolutely not.
Unless you're Crystal Ball Chandler, he might stand a chance.
he's very clever, Kieran. And like Rich quite rightly says, about the players he's playing for, the horses for courses kind of thing.
Yeah, yes.
And I wasn't surprised. I'm not just saying that. I was not surprised one little bit the Hurst play yesterday. And after what Rich just said, he's absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right, Rich. About the Burnley game and this, that, and the other when he's an MK. And he leads the line well. He closes down very well. He pulls people about. He had a colossus against him yesterday.
Yeah, there you go.
In Santos. And he's so strong. He is very, very strong. I mean, physicality wise.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to Santos, I mean, they're like Muhammad Ali fighting Barry McGuigan kind of thing, really. But no, but he is very, very strong, and I like what Kieran's doing because it's working, and why change something that's working? Because I said on here the other day, I think it was last Sunday, Matt and Rich, we're growing confidence by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the week, and this is forever growing. And I got a text from Ian this morning. I mean, Ian and Rich are very, very similar. And Ian said to me today, he thinks we need to win 8 games.
That's what I said. I said Friday, Colin, we need to win 9. Anyway, just quickly, great comment in the chat there from Ian Davis. Umpire Matt says Collins Plum.
Who was your man of the match yesterday then, Colin? Would you have given it Walton? Would you have given it for Hurst for the goal, or the fact he was leading the line so well?
I know what Rich is going to do. He's going to pull me up like a carrot. But I'd like to give it to 2 people yesterday. A joint.
A joint man of the matches on here.
I'd like to give it to Walton and Hurst. I thought they're both excellent.
And
where's Colin gone? He's disappeared. Where's Martin? Martin's
on the trigger happy
I'll
today.
I'll tell you what, Rich. Yeah, I think there was a little bit harsh on your little bit of paper for my man Burgess. A little bit, just a teeny weeny bit. Teeny weeny bit.
Colin, that was a warning. That was a warning. No joint man of the matches, says the Gov from behind the scenes.
No, I'll edge it and give it. I'll give it to Walton. I mean, he's changed the game really. I mean, it goes without saying, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
do you want to give a plug, Colin, to the book night while you're here?
Book night, March the 30th. Be there or be square.
Yeah, I was speaking to Trevor Cox, didn't you? Used to work for the club, Rich.
Yeah,
I know that name.
Used to do a lot of coaching now. I met him down Abbotsford Street today when I was on a walk with my wife. So hopefully, might be getting Trevor and his wife coming over. Hopefully, had a good chat with him. Had the book up in me hand in the pub. Diary of an Obsession, like you do up the town, Diary of Obsession. He was going, and that was quite good. So. Wanted to Jamie, the lad on the coach, bought it whilst going up to Bolton.
He had no choice. He had no choice. He had no choice being sat next to you. You probably bought it for him.
Hey, Matt, Rich, rather. We like to sell a book or two, don't we, Rich?
Well, yeah. You have now sold 318 copies.
Oh well, here you are. There you
are. Happy with 100, everybody. It's tripled that already. Great.
I think it's 130 tickets we sold for the night. We're having a meeting. Are you coming, Colin, on Tuesday? Cafe Nero.
What time does that start?
Breaking news. Matt Stannard has a £30 Cafe Nero voucher, Colin. Get yourself there, mate. What time
does that start, Rich?
Probably about 12:30, mate, when I finish work.
So I've got to be back to work for 3:30. So I'll probably come over for an hour.
Yeah, get yourself there. We're there. I'll give it a Harry Clark fist pump for Matchday.
Colin, it seemed very quiet on the coach when he phoned me last night. I was expecting singing, jubilation, like I said earlier, people smacking the side of the windows.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Matt, but people were very happy, obviously, but people also were very tired, I think, Matt.
I bet they were, yeah.
No, it's a lot. Yeah. Oh, Rich knows, you know yourself, Matt, but I mean, they're long old hauls, aren't they, Rich?
Yeah.
You know.
Got happy sitting on my sofa last night.
No, you weren't. Hey, Rich, there's one person in Taunton Town you can't fib to, and that's me. You would have loved to have been here, you see. So listen, so don't fib to me. Don't do it.
Colin, what's your prediction for Saturday then with Shrewsbury on the horizon?
I'm going to go for a nice little juicy 3-0.
Oh, that'd be lovely. 3-0 there and 3-0 here. 3-0. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you what would be nice now. Be another big boost for the club. But see John Jules on the bench. In the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, totally agree.
What a goal that was at Shrewsbury.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree.
Huh?
Is he close to being back in the squad now? I mean, obviously we saw Don Ball come out of nowhere. Is he close
training?
To
I think he's back training, isn't he? I think they said he might join in with a group this week. So
be like another new signing that once he gets back in the
last 5 or 6 games, he could be quite handy, Gov. Matt and Colin.
Yeah.
He'll be ready to go first week of the season in the championship.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Hey!
What time did you?
Rich, by the way, Ian went to Twickenham yesterday. What?
Oh my God!
Absolutely battered by the French.
Yeah.
Record defeat. 53-10, I think he was.
Quickly, Colin. Did you watch Match of the Day last night?
Wow. I kind of switched out. I watched the so I got in about 9:30. I watched the EFL show because the first division always starts. The first division always starts about 10:05, about that time.
Match so I watched that. If anyone missed it, 20 minutes long.
20 minutes, wasn't it? Blinking, you missed it. I tell you what was good on that EFL show, Colin, was that little segment they did Swansea about people with dementia.
Yeah, I really liked that. That was fantastic. There's a lot. The thing is, though, Matt, there's a lot of clubs now, especially in the EFL. There's a lot of clubs doing. I think there was a thing on there the other week about Derby. There's lots of clubs doing stuff now, and it's just so lovely to see with the disabled people and people who are not so fortunate as me and you, you know. And I tell you what, it brings a tear to my eyes sometimes. It's marvellous, absolutely marvellous. I mean, not to mention, not to forget, rather, you know, people like Lee Smith and the magnificent job he does at our football club. He really deserves a lot of applause, Lee Smith. He is a top, along with others, don't get me wrong, in that disabled people, you know, in that hut they've got there. I saw the other night, I was with Mike Brown and his dear brother. And I'll tell you, I see Lee down there in the corner there, and he's always about to help people. I love that guy. He is.
Well said, Colin. Yeah.
And talking about Mike Brown and his brother, Mike met Sam Morsey at the garage after the Accrington game, and Sam came over. He came over and had a photo with Mike's brother. Brilliant. Look, absolutely really brilliant. And he said, like the fisherman said, like, he spoke to him and he spoke about his brother. Sam Morsey could have easily said, yeah, right, off I go, like, see you later. But he made time and he went and had a photo with him. And I thought, look, Fisherman's been a bit critical of Sam, but I thought that was really, really nice. But he didn't he didn't bring up the Mankini in the conversation though, Colin, which I was a little bit upset with.
Thank God.
I'll tell you what, Rich, going on to what you're just saying there, you know, when you talk about people like, oh, no, we're not going to single players out because I don't think that's really fair. In the club or in the squad right now, we've got a lot of really good guys.
Great, yeah.
You know, and obviously led by the people like the ambassadors, people like Chaplin, and obviously he's not a player, obviously, but people like Holland. We've got so many good guys in the club now who and you know, who are pointing everything in the right direction as regards stuff that we've just been talking about. And but do you know what? Do you know what, Matt and Rich? I know you're going to say, well, I know you're going to what you're going to say, but I'm really proud to be. I'm really proud to be a supporter of my football club again. You know, and let's be honest with you, Rich. We ain't been able to say that much over the last few years, have we?
Look,
for about the last 20 years.
Look, we know how it is. You wrote the book, and it is an obsession. It is. You know, the good, the bad. Travel up and down the country. I know not everybody does that, but people watching this, like Rob in Australia, you know, coming on. It is. Yeah. A lot of people don't get it, like the connection that you have with your football club.
Do you mean like when you're going to be coming to Barnsley?
I'm comfortable. I've got work doing.
I'll have you there. Hey, Richard Moss, I will get you to Oakwell, I'll tell you.
You will not get me there because I've already got the Sunday. I've already got the Sunday off after Derby, and I've also got the Monday off at Cheltenham. So I would love to be at Oakwell.
Colin, I think as much as we love talking to you, I think we've still got 2 more to come in. So I'm gonna have to say goodbye. It's a pleasure chatting. Don't get rid of him that quickly, Martin. Who we got? Who we got? It's Kelly.
Oh, there he is. He's on his phone.
How are we doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Right,
we can hear you. Apologies, Colin. We didn't know you were going to go that quick. That's Martin. You think trigger happy today. Kelly, how's it going? Were you there yesterday, Kelly? Were you there?
I was. Good game. Nice atmosphere as well, which was good to see.
Was everybody singing yesterday to your liking?
Around me, everyone was singing. Even my brother-in-law and my cousin that I brought up, they were all in it on the second half. So
good stuff.
Even I think we had Caden Jackson's dad and family next to us. They were there singing and chanting as well, that's always good to see when you see the players' families and friends actually getting amongst the fans and cheering and singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was good.
What were your take homes from yesterday, then, Kelly? What was your Bolton man of the match for you?
Yeah, I said I thought Morsey had a good game. I thought Davis had a good game. Obviously, I thought Hurst played well as well. And, you know, obviously he got the goal, but he did lead the line really well. But Bolton, there was a couple of saves.
Do you think Hurst will start or do you think Big Fred? I think Ladapo will start next Saturday.
I think it's Ladapo to start probably.
Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? Ladapo home and Hurst away is what he's panning out to be, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I just thought coming to Bolton, so man of the match, because like the penalty save was great, brilliant save, all the rest of it. He's made some of those good saves before. Forget that. If you go back now to I think it was like the first 5-10 minutes, and they've burst through, and he's hit the shot, and it's going near corner, and Walton puts a big solid hand. You know, that could have been 1-0 down. He had some really good saves throughout the game. Yeah. And, you know, and it's fitting. He did the penalty save, great save. That's probably like, for a keeper, that's probably like the ultimate performance, clean sheet as well. And it's on a, you know, record-breaking thing. His name is now in Ipswich history books.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, so, it's good for him. But yeah, I thought the team was good. No one really got below a 7, I don't think. I thought, whilst I really liked the Luongo and Morsey pairing, I thought Luongo did look a bit sloppy in the first sort of 20 minutes or so. But I thought, you know, as the game went on, we grew into it. I think that penalty save just gave us an extra kind of push. And
I was going to say that about that. At the time, you're in the away end, of course, and everyone's on tenterhooks. Did it feel like the vibe in the stadium? Did it feel like Bolton were headed? Their fans were thinking this is going to be 1-1, and did it have that kind of atmosphere?
So, like, it happened really quick, and what had happened is we were chatting to some people, and then we were going back up, and then we hear a big cheer, and we're like, "Oh fuck, is that a goal?" But no one's singing after, and then someone comes back down, and he goes, "Oh, Bolton got a penalty." So then we've dashed up. So at that point, like you could hear the Bolton fans then cheering and all the rest of it, and you're like, "Oh," and you could just feel the nerves as the penalty's about to get taken. That fucking save, what a save as well. I know it's a bit. You could say poor penalty, everything, but that's a strong hand. palmed it away as well, not back really into danger and stuff like that. And then again, we kind of held it well. And defensively, it's good because we know we can score goals. We scored goals all season. I think with Burnley, we're the top scorers in the EFL, right, in terms of goals scored. So scoring goals, you know, we're 30 goals away from 100 goals this season. You know, we win 3-0 the rest of them. That's it. We might get we might get 100 points, 100 goals. So we'll see. But I think now we're 6 clean sheets. That's a big thing. So like, okay, I know the Bristol was a bit of a shit game, but we didn't concede, and before we'd conceded sloppy goals. Like you think about Cambridge, your Lincolns, even Portsmouth away. You know, where okay, we've come back into the game, but should we have really been behind in the first place? Whereas now, like Wickham kind of started that kind of softness as well. Oxford, okay, it was a bit foggy, but again, Oxford found a way to bloody win. We just couldn't.
They did.
So now it's just like, it was weird because even at 1-0, and I can't remember what time Burgess scored. He's about 65, weren't it, or something like that? 65, 70, maybe around that time.
Right.
But I think even at that time, so the penalty saves happened, and it's around the hour mark or whatever, and I didn't feel as nervous. You still feel nervous because it's 1-0, but I didn't feel like 68. So I didn't feel like we're gonna throw it away. We're gonna, I felt that okay, we can do something here. We look like scoring. And the other thing I want to say is the subs. We talked time and time against subs, maybe not making the impact, but they're having that role to play. Carl Edwards comes on for 5-10 minute cameo. He's going to kill a defense. Same way you got Edwards coming on one side, Jackson on the other. Then I thought it was a good move to bring JD on as well, because they were just going to start lumping balls in, which they did.
That was a good sub, Callie. That was bringing Donasian on there.
This is about the squad game, isn't it? And this is what McKenna's saying. And like Greg Lee and Jano Donasian as fullbacks are better in terms of like defensively. They both have attacking qualities, just like Clark and Davis have defensive qualities. But Clark and Davis are more attacking, and they're more your new school fullbacks that are gonna, how many assists has Davis got now? 10. And Davis, for me, I was quite critical of him in the first half of the season, but he's grown. Like his defensive side of things, I think has got better as well.
100% agree with you there. I think he's improved a lot since sort of Christmas.
We forget he's young, isn't it? Because he's got the big price tag. I think, and this is, I'm guilty of it. I'm sure others are too. But because they got the big price tag, you think he's got to be worth it already. But he's still young. Like Clark's still young as well. I'm quite critical on Clark, but again, it's like he'll grow into it. When we're in the championship next season, these are going to be big players. Like we've got a really good squad here, and I said it last time I think I was on here. I've said it for a long time since the Bristol game. I said we're not going to lose a game. We're not going to lose a game now to win the championship.
Well, I hope you're right. Love that. Fantastic.
What's the worst that happens? We don't go up as second, right? Plymouth keep winning as well, and we keep winning, so we finish 2 points off. But we take form into the playoffs, just like Sunderland did last year.
Yeah,
look what Sunderland doing today, beating the scum at their own turf.
Yay.
This could be what we're doing. Yeah, I would say hats off, but I ain't had a trim. But it's things that we can do. Like
he never takes his out anyway.
I do now and then.
Very rare.
To shower.
When he gets in the shower, yeah.
But now, if you think about this whole game changer and all the rest of it, and I know, like Matt, you've obviously not been critical, but you've talked about, and rightly so, about the investment and where we're at.
Yeah, I think it's valid points, aren't they?
And it's fair to a point, yeah. But we're making incremental improvements where now, this time last year, our season was really done. Whereas now we still, everything's in our hands. I know, and that sounds weird because we're chasing top 2, but we can be in our own destiny to go up, because if, like I said, if we finish third, if we just win every next game or don't lose, then Wembley, we'll be at Wembley lifting a cup, the new Wembley.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel this is it. This is the squad. We're gonna go up. I feel, whether it's Wembley or automatics, and I think Plymouth will have another blip. Don't forget, when are they playing in the little Pizza Cup final?
Like Derby, Kelly, they're playing that weekend.
No, but then they have the Pizza Cup final, and then they've got like an away trip to Morecambe, haven't they?
I don't know when. Yeah, they have. You're right. I don't know when that is. Start of April, is that?
Yeah, April 2nd. It's on the Sunday, the final.
Oh, it's the Sunday. Yeah,
So
yeah.
That
Interesting. Could be twists and turns, Callie. Absolutely.
So that weekend that we beat Derby,
yeah,
because they won't play because they'll be in the kebab and the Pizza Cup final. We'll go a point above them, and then they'll drop points when they play Morecambe, and then we'll carry on winning, and that's it. We'll go up in second. It's good. Run away.
I love how you've got it mapped out. I'm all in on that. And I talk about, I have been, I think back now and look at some of the shows, and I have been really critical, but it comes from a good place. I want to be having these kind of conversations. I want to be looking at the championship fixture list next season. We don't maybe, as I keep saying, get us out of the bloody sewer. Ipswich Town don't deserve to be at this third tier. Let's get us out. That's where it all comes from for me.
Well, I've been to Accrington too many times, like I'm sure Rich has as well. These little, whilst they're they've lost their kind of that first kind of time you go because you want to go to the grounds and all the rest of it. Cool. I don't want to keep going to them.
No, exactly.
I want to go somewhere where I can actually get a decent fucking a warm piece of food or a cold drink, rather than whatever it is.
We might be tapping into Cali when we play Fleetwood when we got no tickets. Toto, Orion, Darber.
Are those the fellas that slagged me?
Listen, it'll sell out obviously because we sell out, but I don't think we would have been confirmed in second place, and Plymouth will be 4 points. Yeah, Plymouth will be 4 points behind us by that time.
Oh, we go for a pie.
We won't need to win against Fleetwood to be second, is what I'm trying to say.
Wow. So you're right.
Yeah, I think
their wobble's going to happen because remember Plymouth are a team like us. They can play against good footballing sides and stuff like that. Yeah. But now they've got rid of their kind of not got rid of them, but they've have injuries. Whitaker's gone and stuff like that. Those kind of real individual talents. They're going to struggle against the shit teams like we did. Their time against the Lincolns and stuff like that, like we had, is coming as well.
If you look, they've lost two massive players, Callie. Obviously, Cooper, the goalkeeper, and Whitaker up front.
Yeah.
Whitaker's a big loss. Don't get me wrong, but they still got goals in him. It was Cooper for me because when you look at that, I know we don't always like to look at that XG shit and all the rest of it, but just if you look at it in terms of, because I don't watch their games, but in terms of shit, how many chances are actually this guy saving? You're like, they should be conceding way more. Yeah, and now you see it. They got spanked at Peterborough, didn't they? Shipped 5 in there.
5 there.
3 yesterday. So
they were lucky to get. They were lucky for the draw against Derby. I mean, we'd actually be in second right now, wouldn't we? If they'd got those extra.
Very soft penalty. Very soft penalty.
You can see why they gave it in real time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those. Oh, just a word. Soft penalties, ref. That ref. I know we won, but fuck me, the refs are bad. Like. I actually tried to like I do. Like, you know it is, Rich. Like when you went and chat to some of the lads after, the refs and all that come out the same doors or whatever, don't they?
Yeah.
So obviously, and I'm sure Crunch has seen me do it a few times where I've chatted to a few refs after, just questioning a few decisions, not like aggressively.
I remember shouting away when Callie was shouting at him for all that injury time.
Yeah, he was a dickhead.
After that, if that'd be me.
Yeah, but he was a dickhead. No, but it's not aggressiveness. It was just. Like I'm a football fan. I'm watching it, and I'm saying I'm looking at something. You've given a decision. I don't get it. So can you please clarify, please? Yeah. So yesterday he's walking out, and I went, ref, time wait, like kicking the ball away. What's going on? How comes you gave Hurst a yellow card for kicking the ball away, but their number 17 kicked it away, and you just had a little word with him?
Shoulder tearing. Yeah, he did. I
said, and the penal. Do you know what I mean? So, like, obviously, I hadn't seen the penal decision, but obviously, I was talking about our penal. So he said, oh, well, I played on. And I was like, huh? And I said, no, you didn't. So we got confused on that. I said, our penal. Why didn't you give that? And he was soft. He goes, look, what's the problem? He just walked away, and he was a bit of a rude dickhead. So I might have said something towards him, but it was just, I wanted to clarify that because I thought the ref was shit again. We won, fortunately, but had we not like got 2 good goals or whatever, and we're looking at a 0-0 now, we're like, or had they scored that penalty as an example, because you watch that penalty back, why he's played advantage?
Yeah.
Why is he like? What is the rule on advantage? Like once you've played it, you don't then say, "Oh, they haven't scored, so what? We're gonna give you the penalty." Like I'm confused on that part.
I think
And it was fucking soft as shit. I think was it Burgess or something.
It was Burgess. I think he was a pen. As soon as he made the challenge, Kelly, I was like, "Oh shit, that's a pen." I could see it coming. I think we'd have wanted that down the other end, wouldn't we? But you've given me an idea.
Davis's one was it Davis? I think running into the box on the left, and the guy is literally jumping on his back, dragging him down. It reminded me of Jackson and Milton Keynes Dons. Like how is this not a free kick?
Yeah.
Remember the one crunch, yeah? And I'm just thinking, what the fuck? That's like, yo, the linesman's like, but the good thing is we're not having to rely on them. I know we don't really like talking about the ref, but I'm always going to moan about the ref because
this is going to be a great idea for next season, Crunch. We'll put it down for mine. I'm going to make a little note here. Cali clarifies refereeing decisions that follow the Saturday. It could be a good piece of content, this.
I'll approach a referee a bit calmer.
Yeah. Listen, Cali, we've got one more. I think we've still got Phil to come in. So it's been great chatting to you, mate. Good to see you. Oh, he's quick on this, isn't he? Phil.
There he is. There is the referee.
Welcome to the circus.
just going on that bit about the referee, I just want to quickly mention about that referee, the Plymouth Derby game, and that penalty. I mentioned it on the other week. That was atrocious. How can you give a penalty for that? How soft was that, Richard?
I actually thought it was a penalty.
It was.
I think
Rich.
Listen. It's only when they slow it right down. He does clip. Look, the way I think it's Finn Azaz the player, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The way he goes down, there is contact. There is minimal contact. I agree with you there, Phil. But I'm just saying, if that's say that's the last game of the season, we're away at Fleetwood. We are needing a goal, and Connor Chaplin goes over. We will all be wanting a penalty for that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay. I'll go with that.
It's very soft. It is very soft, but we see so many soft penalties week in, week out now, Phil.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on? What's your thoughts on this, Dave? Phil, I know to clarify from the start, you didn't see all of the game, did you?
No, and I've only seen the highlights. I wanted to start by saying, what a fantastic goal by Hurst.
Brilliant.
That was a lovely counter attack move that worked to a T.
Yeah, it was.
I think if we were in the Championship right now playing the top team away, we score a goal like that, that would send a message to the rest of the bloody league. And I just think, I'm saying we've got Jay, Tyrese to come back in, and the rotation we've got between Big Fred and George is really gelling. It's really quite nice.
What I liked what Callie said about them subs there was like you bring on Jackson and Edwards with like 10 to go, they're going to absolutely cream knackered defenders, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's the last thing you're going to be seeing. They were smart subs, I say.
Yeah, I think going on the partnership, obviously between JD and Jackson and Clark and Burns. Yeah, I'm saying I can see again on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if you went with Jackson again. Starting against Shrewsbury. With Fred up top.
I don't think he needs to because it's. I can understand why he done it on Tuesday, Phil, because obviously it was Saturday, Tuesday, and then we obviously had that long trip yesterday to Bolton. I think without a midweek game, there's no midweek game. I don't think he'll change it. I think we've got another midweek game in April. We've got Port Vale. We've obviously got the games over Easter, Phil, when we play Friday and Monday. So maybe then. I don't really think there's the need now to make that many changes for Saturday's game. I can see Ladapo playing instead of Hurst, but I think other than that,
I can see why you'd say that though, because you don't want sort of him to get bum-ache sitting on the bench, do you? Because he put in a good shift. Some people thought he was man of the match against Accrington. You don't want him to go off the ball particularly, do you? And 10 minutes here and there ain't going to help him particularly. But we'll probably just have to wait and see on that one. Burgess's goal, Phil? What do you think of Burgess's goal?
Terrific, absolutely terrific. I'm going to say in the end we didn't need it, and I think if you take Burgess's goal out of the game yesterday with just a 1-0, you'd probably think, with the way the game went, I'm going to say, he nearly got done, early on when Bolton nearly scored with Bolton save, and then the penalty that he gave away. But I mean, I think between Burgess and Edmondson, obviously they have different attributes, and
yesterday. Where is Fridge?
Well, it's Greg Lee as well. They just haven't featured, have they?
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
Anyone in the comments?
Are we reading too much into that by thinking that they probably won't, be at the club next season?
Rich was injured. He didn't even do the coffee club, guys. He didn't even do the coffee club.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was a strange one. Watch this space.
I think it was his ankle.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying I miss seeing Greg Lee. I know that he's being kind of limited to a bit of a bit part role this season, but when he plays, for me, he never. For me, whenever he plays, it's always at least a 7 out of 10 performance, even as a sub.
Yeah, great.
I think now you'll see him, Phil, that with the stage of the season we're at. I think Kieran did reference it the other week. We need to be winning games. So I think with like the subs, he's got obviously JD on there who can play both sides. He can play centre half. Other than that, they're all attacking players mostly, Matt, that he's got on the bench.
Yeah. It's a great weapon to have, isn't it? Going into the
massively
members of the game.
And John Jules to come back. Where's he fitting in?
Where's he fitting?
Somewhere between Big Fred and George, I reckon.
Yeah, but he was a good. I always thought he was better off the bench anyway. Personally,
like him.
Impact. Does that then mean with TJJ coming back? Does that push Edwards out of the 18 completely?
I would say if you're looking at he's probably the one who'll fall out because you wouldn't take Jackson out. He wouldn't be the one to go, would it?
No. So you got too many options now. This is the thing. And Don Ball appearing for the midfield as well.
Was back.
I think between obviously, there's every risk that, Sam might pick up is, another book in between now and the end of this month. So, you could probably see Ball coming in, getting a bit of game time. But I'm saying, who would you prefer? say Mass and Humphreys or, Mass and Ball? Ball's not really. Would that be a big ask for Ball to come back in straight away without really?
I think it would be. I think it would be. You'd have to go Luongo and Humphreys. I think.
I think it's good that we've not got a game this week, so Don Ball can get a week's training in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, just
help him.
I want to talk about the remaining fixtures because
go for it.
Like with that season when Big Nick came in and he had to rescue us from the drop that first season, brought in a lot of loan players in that January window, and we went on. I think in the last 9 or 10 home games, not the last 10 games, but I think we won 8 or 9 of the last 10 games that season to stay up.
Did we?
And looking at the fixture list, we've got 5 very winnable home games to come. That would put us on 87 points.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, how many games would we need to win? Is it 7 or 8? I think for me, traditionally, historically, when you look at that second spot, it's sort of been around about 89, 90. Now, if we can win our home games, that would put us on 87, and then maybe just 2 of the away games, that would put us on 93. Barnsley, Derby, Cheltenham, Peterborough, and Fleetwood are the away games.
I feel like we're going to win more than 2 away games there, but that's because I'm on an optimistic high right now. But I agree with you. That would take you to 93.
If you didn't get up, Phil, on 93 points, I think you'd be a bit unlucky, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah. So that's why I think looking at the last 10 games, if we won 7 of those, that would put us on 93.
Yeah.
But exactly. you're saying that I think probably 8 would be absolutely.
Yeah, I think if you win 896, I wouldn't say you're guaranteed, but I'd say that'd give you probably more than 80-20, I'd say, in our favour, Matt, I think.
Yeah. I think they said on the Discord yesterday, no one's ever not been promoted with 93 points, automatically from League One. So we'll have to wait and see. But
Let's hope it's not us then. Let's hope it's not us who get 93 then.
They're not coming Ipswich, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and also I just hope that Barnsley do play Wednesday that midweek. Obviously, there's a bit of a risk about international call-ups, but even if they do, so there's no guarantee that Wednesday will get a result against Barnsley. And you just think that if Barnsley do get the 3 points against Wednesday, that's going to put a little bit of pressure back on us with the way things are. Obviously their game in hand is the Wednesday game, and I personally don't think Barnsley will win it, if I'm being honest. Even though I think it's at Barnsley.
Yeah. Sheffield will do a job there. They should.
And when Wednesday are due are kind of a defeat too. So, is it going to be sod's law that Barnsley do get 3 points against Wednesday, and then that'll put a bit of pressure back on us when they play us. Because I think for me, looking at the Barnsley and Derby game, I think for me the Barnsley game's tougher, if I'm being honest. And I think if we go to Barnsley and we get a point, if we get a point at Barnsley, okay, it's a tough game. We end up getting a point. For me, that would be okay, and then we can sort of, look forward after that to. I'm not worried about Derby. I'm certainly not worried about Peterborough. Peterborough, I think, are so hot and cold. So inconsistent.
Did you see the goal yesterday? Alfie May's goal. If anyone has,
yes, I did. I've got to say, I forgot about that. I've seen, but both of his goals yesterday were absolutely superb. His second goal was.
Tell everyone, Phil, in the chat, and everyone watching about the first goal.
Right, I've only seen it once. Saw the highlights yesterday on the Football League show last night. Right, Alfie May's first goal. He lobbed the fucking goalkeeper from 50 fucking yards.
Who was the goalkeeper? Will Norris.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's a throw in the right back, and it's down the line, mate.
I'm saying he nearly got to it. I'm saying the keeper nearly got a hand to that. I would say he was.
He's literally by the dugouts, and it bounces, and he must have looked out the corner of his eye. Will Norris, I don't know where he is, and he literally volleys it, Matt. And it's
I would say his second goal was absolutely superb. He is so good. He's such a good goal scorer at League One level, and we have to watch him because if we don't, we could get unstuck against him. Yeah. And also Shrewsbury next week. Shrewsbury yesterday got themselves another penalty. They got themselves a penalty against Derby, which was a penalty. The Derby defender, pushed the Shrewsbury player over, in the area, rightly so. But I mean, for me, I think one of the 3 key points to success for me next week would be, to not concede set pieces around the area because they do look, do look quite handy.
Crystal Ball Chandra has said put money on them having a penalty next week, so we'll have to. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Saying we're not exactly. I'm saying we gave away a penalty yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, what was in great form? 70's last 2.
Yeah.
Look, Phil, we're both dying for a cup of tea here, so we're going to bid you adieu. Rich has still got to finish his 3 letter takeaways.
Right.
Phil, take it easy. Lovely to speak to you.
Yes, Phil.
Was he going to come back in then? I don't know.
Wow.
1:36.
This is a marathon.
We can chat, right? We could do 2 hours, but we're not going to.
Shrewsbury are 8th on 55 points, Matt. So
they've had a good season for them, I think.
Game in hand, win that, 5 off the playoffs. Look, he's a good manager, Steve.
He's good manager. He's been around years.
Fly through the last page.
Yeah, the old takeaways. I called them 3-letter takeaways. The 3-word takeaways.
Right, Trev B, what a run. Anthony Miles, automatic is on. Ben's life, we are back. Ben Bush, keep the momentum. Paul Peachy, over the moon. Martin Fever, Bolton left early. Amy Downs, she's gone back to the Chambers. She's gone back to the Chambers Charlton interview. Do we all remember it? Different fucking class. Oh, yeah. Tom Tomlin, shout out Tom. He's been going to Portman Road for absolutely
years. He has.
Pride class superior. Daniel Zamontes, watch out. Plymouth Dan Story, Walton, sexy beast. Mike D, Snowball keeps rolling. Ian Wallbank, Morsey, Luongo winners. Alf S is back on. Christine Smith, what a feeling. Dancing on the ceiling. A bit of Lionel Richie there, right? Johnny Rodas, happy fucking days. Peter Dowling, squeaky bum time. And we'll finish with Kim Johnson. Roll on Saturday. Come on.
We'll see you next week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Martin, hit that button.
Press the button. That was good.